Now, a couple of examples on some effective career objective statements. Something as simple as an entry-level position in massage therapy. What that does basically is it sets the tone by putting entry-level. Should help both you and the employer to be looking for basic entry-level skills. They're not looking for somebody who has mid-level management or supervisory management level experience, so therefore they shouldn't be seeing those kind of skills in the resume. Another example could be an accountant in a public accounting firm. So if you have a specific type of work environment that you are targeting, let's say you're a massage therapist and you really want to work alongside a chiropractor, then you might want to put that in there. Or if you're a nurse who is seeking to work at a large hospital, that might be effective. But an ineffective kind of objective statement is something like a challenging position with potential for advancement in marketing, public relations, or personnel. This kind of statement is too broad. It doesn't have enough focus. The employer might be confused by, well, what area is the person really trying to focus in relation to? Is it marketing? Is it public relations? Is it personnel? They're all very unique aspects of an organization or HR. So again, focus is the key. Short, brief, concise, succinct. The next section on James Madison's resume, below the objective, is called the highlights of qualifications. And I'd like to point out that of all the sections on this particular resume, this is probably the most optional. Sometimes people will call this career highlights, but these basically will contain statements that are characteristic or identify the things that you're most proud of. So for some people that might be number of years of experience. For others it might be certain awards or recognition or certifications that they've earned. Really what the main purpose of the highlights of qualifications section is designed to do is to make that employer go, wow, that's impressive. This applicant really has some neat things to offer, which in turn will hopefully make them spend a little bit more time reviewing your resume. And that's important because the average amount of time that a live person gives to a resume review is about 15 seconds. So anything that you can do to extend that amount of time that they're spending reviewing your resume, the more likely they're going to learn a little bit more about you and to take the time to thoroughly read through everything you have to offer on the resume. We've got some examples here in terms of what kinds of statements we would use in the highlights of qualifications section. It would be things like I was saying, 2 years of experience as a student receptionist. Maybe if the position requires you to do extensive keyboarding, you would list the number of words per minute you type. Like 55 words per minute error-free. You could talk about your knowledge of word processing, spreadsheets, presentation software. Again, be creative there. There are statements that are unique accomplishments, things you're proud of, but don't feel that you have to put this section in. In fact, look at some different examples and you'll get a feel for whether or not that's going to work for you, but the main thing is just to kind of understand the purpose of that section. Now moving on from the highlights of qualifications section into the heart of the functional resume, which is the skills and experience section. Again, at this point we're going to be listing and marketing or selling skills, not just past job duties, which are very indicative or characteristic of the chronological format. It's the skills that employers need and will benefit from. And what I'd like to show you now is a website that has been very resourceful called the ONET. And you'll notice on the presentation I make reference to the site and give you the web address here. Now when you go to this web address, the main page, basically what you'll do is you'll go to the Find Occupations link in the top left corner of that home page. That will take you to a page where you can search the database of occupations by keyword. But I'd like us to use the keyword search and type in massage therapist, actually, and then hit return. And what that will give us is a list of results. And the very first result you should see in this case, if you use massage therapist, is not surprisingly, a massage therapist. So when you open up that particular job profile, occupational profile, you will see a wealth of information provided in that particular slide or that page. Basically, what it'll give you, for starters, is a brief summary of what massage therapists do. They then give you a list of other sample reported job titles that this occupation falls under. But as we get into the body of the profile, there are 3 sections in particular that contain what we call relevant occupational hard and soft skills. Those 3 sections are the knowledge section, the skills section, and if you scroll down the page a little bit more, you will see a section titled Work Activities. Now, under each one of these 3 sections, there are bold typed terms or skills that would be things such as communication or customer service. It could be time management, organization. So any of these bold type terms or skills under those 3 section titles I listed would be excellent to use in the skills and experience section of the functional resume. Now, before we go on, I want to just talk a little bit about what the difference is between a hard and soft skills. I keep making reference to that, and many folks aren't really familiar with the differences between the two. And every occupation has both. So, for example, a hard skill. Hard skills are very what we call technical, applied kinds of skills. So, for example, a hard skill could be the ability to use Microsoft Excel to create a spreadsheet. It could be the number of words per minute in individual types. It could be how to operate a copy machine, how to drive a backhoe or operate a tractor. They're very learned, necessary skills that every occupation requires.